All right, so a few days obviously since the draft. In retrospect, what do you feel like you were able to accomplish as an organization?
I think we built on a pretty good depth, a prospect pool with good depth. We got some centermen, and we got high compete players. We had a defenseman as well and a winger, but I do think we got competitive, and that's an important aspect of this organization.
You obviously go into draft with a game plan, a checklist of what you want. Do you feel like you got everything that you wanted this year? How close did you come to kind of accomplishing all of the goals that you as a staff set for what you wanted to kind of stock up on?
Yeah, I think we did. We accomplished getting what we thought were, again, I reiterate, competitive players. We got some size. So we were happy the staff did a good job identifying the type of players we're trying to build our prospect pool with moving forward.
As you get into the later rounds of the draft, how does your approach change, or how does what you're looking for change for maybe rounds? I know we didn't have a first rounder this year, but the first couple rounds.
I think later on you're relying on your regional scouts in particular. Myself and Chris Morehouse will try to see everybody. We definitely see the first few round players more than the middle round guys and late round guys. So you're relying on your regional scouts, and you want them to show passion for the players, and that's what happened here. The players that we picked at the end were guys that our staff had passion for. So you just look for players that people are really excited about to add to the prospect pool, whether it's in the 7th round or not. Someone has to be really excited about that player.
I know the last couple of years have been a little different with COVID, but this past season, were you able to scout the way as a staff that you're accustomed to? Were you able to go out and meet players and see players, and how nice was it to be able to kind of get back to some of that?
It was refreshing this year for sure to get out. There were a few pauses, and there were border restrictions and some COVID testing and things that made it a little more difficult. Again, our staff did a great job overcoming any obstacles we had, but at the end of the day, we had the combine where we met the players face to face, which we hadn't had for a couple of years. So it was back to somewhat of normalcy, and we just look forward to next year and having it back 100%.
And similarly, how nice was it to have a real draft for the first time since 2019?
It was great. It was good to get, again, the staff together, to be able to meet face to face and then get on the floor and be able to do it the traditional way. I think the NHL did a great job the last couple of years doing it remote, but it was nice to be together in that environment with all 32 teams in the league.
Adam Sikora, what did you as a staff like about him?
Adam Sikora's motor is outstanding. He doesn't stop working. He's highly competitive. I'd almost classify him as an overachiever. He makes the men's world championship team. He didn't play the first few games and then found his way onto the team and got better as the tournament went on. Along with his skills, I don't want to take anything away from his skill set, his ability to skate, but he is definitely a high character, hard-working player.
And I know that he said that there's a certain NHL player that he sort of idolizes. Do you see a little bit of that Brad Marchand in him?
He has some of that in his game for sure. He's highly competitive, like I said. He'll get in people's faces, so that's a great, role model for him to have if he can become even close to Brad Marchand. I think we had a successful draft, so it's good for him to look at Brad Marchand and try to play that way.
So turning the page now to this camp, why is it important, especially for the 6 picks from this year, to have the opportunity to come here, meet the staff, train with some of them?
I think it's just a great opportunity for them for the first time to see what we're trying to do here, what we're trying to build, and what has been what's here before them. They get to learn from some of the players that have been in this camp for a couple of years, what it's like to be a pro. I mean, it's really their first opportunity to see what we can provide with everything from strength and conditioning to the coaching staff and other players that are, let's say, veterans in this camp that have played in the American League last year, or Robertson or Skinner and guys like that. So they can learn how to be a pro probably for the first time and see what the expectations are here.
And last question, Brendan Hoffman, what did you and the staff like about his season this past year?
He had a great season. You know what? He really just took charge of the season. He took ownership of being a high pick, and he scored goals and he competed and he worked on his all-around game. He was excellent. He did everything. He really had, rounded out his game and turned himself into a complete player. So he's a guy we're extremely excited about.